David Ogrin was in the first PGA Tour Q School in 1982 and made 277 cuts in his 507 starts. He's been involved in the professional golf for a long time and is now one of the leading golf instructors in the game. David, welcome to Back Nine Report.
Thanks, Fred. Good to be here. Have coming off a little COVID spell for me, but I'm ready to get back to work and keep helping people play better golf.
David, this LIV Invitational Golf Series has become such a big deal, creating such an upheaval. And as a former player, I wanted to get your view on the LIV Tour, and what are you thinking with this thing, with these guys jumping for this money?
Well, I'm pretty much on record, Fred, as saying the LIV will be a limited success. It absolutely will be a limited success. It's going to have limited fields. It's going to have limited tournaments. It's going to have limited media access for a while. The players will have limited other access to other stuff, and they will be quite happy and quite prosperous because the Saudis are putting a lot of money into it. And I'm not ever going to begrudge somebody the opportunity to go make a bigger paycheck. If this had happened 1997, 1996, 1998, when I had climbed into the top 60 in the world, and somebody had come to me with a big pile of money, I would have had to have thought long and hard about it. You have to think about it. But it's here. They're going to do it. It's going to be a fact on the golf landscape. And now we've got to figure out where it fits and, what it means in the greater golf world for today and in history.
Dave, has the PGA Tour been kind of victim of its own success?
We talked about a little bit, and I'm going to use a strong word. I'm going to use the word arrogance. Because yes, the PGA Tour is the best league in the world. And when you're the best league in the world with the best players in the world, you get a little bit of a bulletproof superiority kind of arrogant attitude towards everybody. And I think you can make mistakes. Okay. And I'm not saying that in the history of my association with the tour, Dean and Tim and Jay haven't made mistakes, but I think the PGA Tour is very successful. And one of my takes on the PGA Tour is that the PGA Tour has created more playing opportunities for more men across the world for more money than ever in the history of golf. And that can't be a bad thing. Okay, so that brings us to today. And for whatever happened, whenever it happened, Greg Norman got mad at the PGA Tour. And it's taken him this long to find the right tool to get back at him.
Yeah, you have an answer to some of the players that complain about current PGA Tour procedures and policies, and part of that was in what you just stated there. It's created a lot of opportunities, and yes, there are maybe some things that need to be changed, but overall, it's created a lot of places for guys to play and earn a tremendous amount of money.
Well, I grew up. You had the PGA Tour and everything else, every other developmental tour always had one question at the end of the tournament. Will the check bounce? Right? Did you play any mini tour golf?
No.
Yeah. See, in the mini tour golf system, you go have a great tournament and the check may or may not cash. Well, the PGA Tour took all of these really legitimate developmental tours, Canada, Latin America, the Corn Ferry, and they developed a product in China for the Asian for the Asian players. And they've really made it so that these guys know when they go do their work and finish their job and earn money, they're going to get paid. And that is such a huge, huge factor when you're developing as a golfer, that you know that all this hard work you're going to put into it, you're going to be able to buy groceries.
David, also in that Facebook post that you mentioned, you feel that not all the best pros are really motivated by the almighty dollar. Yeah, they get paid if they do well, but Hogan and Nelson, Palmer, Jack, Tiger, they made a lot of money in their careers, but they just wanted to win. They wanted to compete and win.
Yeah. So I did a quick survey reaching out to the guys of my gen, in particular, Hal Sutton. Hal Sutton and I are the same age, and Hal Sutton of the 1957-58, college graduating class of 1980, he was the best player of our bunch. Won a PGA, won a couple Players Championships. And I flat out asked him, Hal, at any time in that golden boy era, did you ever play golf just for the money? And he said, no. He said the money was great, but he never played the golf for the money. Now, there's lots of money to be made in other things. If I wanted to make money, and I'm going to reference something that I would say yes, for example, to go play in the Dana Corporation Pro-Am. And I'd get on the airplane, fly to Toledo, and I'd go there on a Monday and do my job and have fun with the guys, and they'd pay me some extra money. And I did that for the money. But when I got to the tournament on Tuesday, I was playing to see how far up on that week's finish list that I can make it. How far up could I get? Could I win? Could I break top 10? Could I make the cut? Blah, blah, blah. And everybody that I know never played golf for the money. In fact, there's numerous cases, and I'm sure if you talk to, and I referenced Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson made a money decision a few years ago to take big money from Volvic and disappeared for 2 years. That contract ran out. He went back to Titleist and he reappeared. Right? So he made a decision for money and it didn't work out. So making a decision just for the money, I don't think is a good enough reason.
So all this aside, does the fact that it's maybe Saudi Arabian money behind all this and the sports washing and all the civil rights issues and different things that they have in the world community, does that factor into your thinking at all with these guys jumping over?
It's definitely a factor, but I can't help but think of a term that I've learned somewhere along the way that sounds real brainiac about cognitive dissonance.
That's a $10 word right there, man.
I hold two ideas in my brain at the same time that I think are true, and they're opposed to each other. Okay, one of those ideas is you have to look at the money. You have to make that decision. The young man that just signed with the LIV, the #2 player in the world, amateur in the world, he's looking at that going, I have a chance to make generational money. Balanced with all of the things that we believe that the Saudi government has been involved with over the last 22 years, right? Going back to some really bad stuff. And it's like, all right, so how pure is all the money we play for? I don't know. Right? And so
some of the corporations that fund PGA Tour events, it can be questioned where that money comes from, is kind of what you're saying.
Basically, right.
Yeah.
All right. So, which then, so you got these two competing ideas going in my brain. And I totally get Brandel Chambly on his sports washing thing. Okay. Do I think that the Saudi government is trying to use golf to do some sort of legitimacy ploy in the world? I think it's a strange tool, but yes, I do. Right. So, and I have, and they're going to win on money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to win on money. I don't think they're going to win on ideas. And I don't know if ideas are strong enough to withstand the money.
Gotcha. We are really happy to have been talking with David Ogrin, a former tour player who has some knowledge of these things, and get his take on the LIV series. And David, thanks a lot. I know you're getting over COVID, and but it looks like you're doing well, and so we wish you well going forward.
I appreciate it, Fred. It's going to be an interesting couple of years here. I just hope that the PGA Tour continues to communicate with their players exactly what they're doing and continue to try to put the best product on the field every week across all their tours, doing what the PGA Tour does best, and that is support communities wherever they are to just a large maximum degree. And I'm a huge homer for the PGA Tour. And if that makes anybody mad, I'm sorry. I'm going to continue to root for the organization that's basically provided me everything.
David, thanks so much. Take care.
You too, Fred.